Delete. Null. Double your productivity. Have sex at the gym. Some words of wisdom. Do not go into business with friends. I did it. It ruined the relationship beyond repair. Salvage your friendship while you still can and keep things separated. Don't lose the gym membership and keep the relationship if it's positive toward your business. If the sex is good and the relationship is positively adding to your business and life, then keep it. I've found over the last year that having success in life and in business is having everything in balance. Having a clear head, being healthy, working out regularly, a good relationship that is positive, a good positive living situation, letting go of things that aren't helping you move forward. All these things together seem to add to success. Business is great. But, you can't be successful in life unless you take care of yourself. You need to work out, have sex, have positive relationships. In my experience, when I let my health and my relationship with my family and friends slide, everything else does too. 1 or 2 hours out of your day to make sure you stay healthy so that you are able to work in the first place seems worth it to me. I wake up at 4 a.m. just so I can have 3 hours of personal development exercise, meditation, reading, writing, etc. every morning. Since I started that, my results have skyrocketed. I get a lot more done, and it gets done in much less time as well. I actually have more time in my day, even though I spend 3 hours every day doing something that some can see as unproductive. Nice generalization. Some great companies have been built by friends. I'm going on 4 years now with my best friend. Maybe we're the exception, right? So out of 24 hours per day, you're going to dedicate your life to coding? You can't do a 3-day split at the gym. Can't spare 1 hour per day on the social aspect of life, even for F-king? Well, kudos to you. Hey man, when it comes to relationships, if you work on being yourself, you will attract the right kind of partner. This means working out, being healthy, growing as a man, and building a legacy. These things will make you the person that your ideal mate will be interested in. My granddad told me, you're going to be getting a your whole life, so don't waste your time chasing it. Some of the many words of wisdom he shared. Why are you learning to code when you can pay someone who knows how to? I wouldn't become a patent attorney to file a patent. Learn just enough so you have an idea on what's possible, and to know you're not being taken for a ride. Null. Success is a habit. It's a lifestyle, work at it in every area of your life. Gym will be good for your mood, wake up at 5 a.m. Having a girlfriend or relationship is going to be great for you as long as she have the same mindset as you. If she don't, what's the point in being in a relationship with her? I once had a partnership with a close friend and I promised myself to never do it again. I'm not telling you that having a partnership with a friend is bad, but the way you are describing it, you probably shouldn't get in business with him. Personally, I think this is the greatest tips I can give you if you want to be in control of your business. I know. You can partnership or hire people to do that part, but I personally think it's giving away the whole control of your business to other people. You can kinda become dependent on them, which is something I would personally hate. It doesn't matter if you have the best product in the world if you can market it and sell it profitably. I personally rather have an average product and having my focus on making my sale funnel profitable, then after I'll improve it. Cheers. This. I went into partnership with my uncle. We were both car dealers at the time and had the off chance of a huge warehouse storing 40 cars plus plenty of space outside. 4 months into it, after lots of hard work being done by myself and my uncle spending time in the pub, it wasn't viable. He also spent our collaborate car fund money on cars he liked. He worked middle class or average cars, whereas I worked off 1 or 2 luxury but at least 10 to 20 cheap cars, constantly turning them over. He sold a few of the cars behind my back and kept the profits without ever putting the money back into the garage. Saw the warning lights and says I'm going to leave. Sour grapes is mellow as to the way he reacted, considering he hardly done anything. Spoke to the guy 3 times in 6 years and twice was through a family abrivement. Trying to get my half of the money off him as well was a nightmare, plus called it quits and lost all money I invested in doing the place up, planning, permission, etc., which should have been halved, but as family IOU sufficed. Moral of the story is, do your own thing. Yeah, this you will spend too much trying to take it in, you will end up burning yourself out in 2 months. Find a balance that works for you. Go to the f***ing gym. Lol, focus on health first and foremost. If you're dead, then what's the point of having money? 3 days a week. 90 minutes. Cardio plus resistance training, weights, cables, TRX, whatever. That's all you need. Man, just a little bit of exercise every week will improve your mood and your health significantly. It helps get your sleep schedule in check, too. It's just a good habit to be in. $10 or month. I wish I paid that. I pay $25 or month right now, and that's much cheaper than the average price of $36 or month at this same gym spring or summer promotion. Go to the gym. Get the membership. It's not a waste of 2 hours, in fact, it might very well put years on your life. Also, don't partner with that guy. I almost partnered up with a good friend who is doing pre-med and is trying to get into school. I told him to focus on school, I'll focus on my passion. Good guy who actually had good things to offer, but bad choice. Null. Since you feel that poorly about your partner, bail out. FCK it. No customers, no sales, no business, so no loss. Do it gracefully, but be a man. To be the CEO you think you will be, this will be one of thousands of decisions you will make. Do it now. Yeah, you know what? The more we all talk about this, the more I'm leaning that way. I might give it a few more months and wait until he finishes MFL. After all, the only things we're really doing right now are throwing out ideas for our idea, while studying code or business, but I have my doubts. He's usually the one taking advice from me rather than giving it. That should be a warning light right there. He's taking a course in college for e-commerce, but I've told him that he can learn all of that online, and that would only put him in debt. Going to school for SHT like that is straight stupid unless you wish to acquire a very complex skill set and or profession. Ever heard the term work smart not hard? I know people who build up social media accounts to get brand recognition, and it takes a lot of their time. I have a web bot set up that does the work of 20 people working 10 hours a day. I do it in 20 minutes. I'm not sure what business you are getting into, but I can tell you that for a lot of businesses there are plenty of shortcuts, and most people are blind to them. Want to sell more toothpaste? Sell bigger brushes. Null. I don't know how support centers in India are destructive. They know English as well, if not better than some Americans. It sounds like you are thinking too far ahead, and punishing him for something that's not even relevant. You don't even know if you will need customer support that would require an American. Null. Lol. And here's the problem. Being friends, or family, in this person based on their past actions often help you overlook certain flaws, as their many priswell have known each other since grade school. My Aunt Clara bought me ice cream when I was a kid, so she's my faff. Far outweigh them. The fault here is perception and translation into a business sense. I know some great people that I'd risk life and limb for, but would I ever want to go into business with them? Hell the FCK no. In this person isn't going get them to give it their all just because you want them to. Either way, go for it if you'd like. It's a lesson best learned early rather than later. Have more faith in yourself. Why not maximize your time by setting schedules? There's a lot to accomplish in 24 hours. Dedicating all your time to one thing is a surefire way to burn yourself out. I should know. Give yourself some healthy moderation to where you find yourself most productive. Partnerships are. You'll find that out sooner or later. Your best bet is to flex idea muscles and then throw the action behind it on your own. If you still want to see where the partnership goes, keep it going. Have a backup. The only person you can truly rely on is yourself. BTW. I'm 20 minutes from Barry, went to Georgian. Do it, and act on it. It's working for me, and I've always been a lazy $1 in the morning. Here's the best tips I can give you. Write down on a piece of paper who's that perfect girl for you, who's that 1% girl for you. Write as many qualities as possible about her. Write down the way she looks, the way she thinks, etc. Ask yourself this question: what type of man a girl like this would like to have in her life as the father of her kids? Write down the qualities, the attitude, the way this man would think, etc., and work your ass off to become that person. While you work towards this goal, you are slowly going to attract that type of girl in your life. I see way too many people trying to acquire the type of person they want in their life instead of attracting them. You should do it for any goal you have in your life. Write down what are you looking to accomplish, then on the other side, write down what you need to become to accomplish these goals. Everything is going to become a lot easier for you if you focus on yourself, on what you can control instead of trying to be capable of something. Create a solid routine, create great habits, and always educate yourself to become a better version of yourself, and then slowly you will attract or achieve your goals. Cheers. What your friend does is really irrelevant. His path is not your path. Your experience is not his experience. You are not meant to live in each other's shadow. Although it's not hard to stay in the same place as your family and friends, you will never reach your full potential if you follow their ideas, philosophy, and opinions. You have to make your own course in life. Navigate your way to places they've never been. Others will hold you back if you prioritize your life by their standards and expectations. This is your life, the one that has to live with choices you make. Emotional and mental attachments to people, places, and things are what makes it hard to let go. It takes courage and strength to chart your own territory. Your focus is what is important to you. What are your goals? What is your agenda? What motivates you? It's easy to live your life by other people's advice and ideas. The question: does your philosophy, goals, and agenda match up with theirs? If it doesn't, that is perfectly okay for them, and okay for you. There is no wrong or right way. It is just what you feel is right for you. Null. So you're gonna micromanage your partner? You both should bring things to the table that complement each other. You, program and project management, him, sales, marketing, financial, operational, etc. Two partners that code together is going to accomplish what? And you're going to evolve this over 2 years. So you're gonna code for 2 years before releasing a product. Are you sure you know what you are doing? Null. Some very good input in this thread, so I'll input my 2 of hopefully something that has not been said. I heard this from a mentor once. All of these things are separate plates. Picture a real plate that you eat off of. When you work on one of these areas of life, the plate starts spinning. You start spinning it with your finger. Then it rises higher and higher. Then you add another plate, and to keep the first one spinning as fast as it is while starting to spinning this one, it gets harder. Unless, of course, you sacrifice where the first one is and let it drop in order to get the second one higher. But then you have the problem of the third, fourth, etc. and so on plates. So if you focus more time into one thing, you slowly lose the skill or ability for something else. But if you maintain that something else, it's easier to get back over time. Gym, relationships, nutrition, work, self-education, family, friends. So say these are the magical 7 that you work with. They probably vary slightly. You could immerse yourself in the gym for a year and become a beast while maintaining or letting some areas go. Then you gotta pick them up again, which can be hard. Ever been in a relationship for a while then try to pick up girls? It's not easy. You've lost your touch on the game. My advice: you can spin multiple plates at once at a high level. Don't succumb to total immersion in coding or whatever just to let everything else go, because in the long term, it's not the optimal strategy for most. Find an hour of your day, read 4% of your day to hit the gym, even if you do every day. The proven health benefits and energy and clarity it provides you will do wonders for your creativity and focus. Relationships. Behind every great man was an even greater woman. I don't know if this is true or not, so take it with a grain of salt. I do better when I'm actively cultivating relationships, whether they are girlfriends, flings, one-nighters, just friends, pen pals or whatever. Girls feed off of my energy and I feed off of theirs. This can be a very beneficial thing. So there's basically immersion and maintenance available for each of the above. Choose wisely which works for you at this time. Sounds like you must immerse yourself in the business, but don't be mad that your partner is not. He may bring in fresh ideas from other sources as he continues to have a life. Kid, I grew up around programmers. My father wrote in assembly, C++ and a bunch of Unix bullshit I'll never understand. I was programming BBS programs before you were born when I was 13, while also learning Novell networks before TCP became the IT protocol. I went on to designing data centers and running my own IT consulting business. I am trying to help you focus and you're holding on to a relationship that seems to be one-sided, your side. That isn't going to work, but go ahead with your condescending attitude, bud. I really hope I am wrong. This makes a lot of sense, thanks. I just need to balance, I suppose. Listen, I'm all for input, and many of the comments in this thread have significantly helped me. From the start, you should have let me know your background as a programmer, and then give me an actual suggestion without passive-aggressively berating me about knowing what I'm doing. After confirming your own assumptuous questions, I'm not micromanaging him. I never said we were coding together, and I never said we weren't going to release an early product within the 2-year period of time. I agree about both contributing complementary information to our business, but based on the amount of database work going into it, I thought it would be a good suggestion for him to learn some PHP or SQL. He doesn't know anything about programming, so at least knowing could benefit him, and since he doesn't know anything about programming, something like this would never cross his own mind. Hey, maybe I should learn some PHP or SQL because the majority of what we're doing is database related. It isn't micromanaging, I just don't know what to do in this predicament. Since I know you're a programmer, what would be your suggestion? Not have him bother with it at all? Will having an idea how programming languages work benefit him or us in any way? We're both serious about it all, and we both have the same track of mind. I was just confused with how serious I should be about putting my full attention of the business. As others have suggested, it isn't healthy to ignore other aspects of life, which ignoring them could actually be a detriment to overall success. The other aspect is determining what areas of work both of us should be focused on, which from M31AB I'm now realizing that we should just stick to our own areas. It would be more efficient. I think it comes down to what you value or want most in your life right now. I tend to see it this way: relationship or sex plus a good health is 2 human needs that are essential to live a complete life. To have both plus working on achieve financial success got to be the optimal, at least for me. Because once you have reached that point when you are financial stable, don't you want relationship and health then? Why not keep it and strive to success at the same time? Then once you get it, you have all the 3 things instead of 1. But again, it comes down to what you want most in life. If you feel like cut it all out and only focus on success, then by all means go for it. Edit, that friend and business sounds like a drag. Have a serious talk with him and decide what you want both of you to do in this business. If you can agree on it, that's perfect. If you can't and he doesn't want to work as hard as you, then go solo. I did start a business with my friend before, was a school project for about 6 months, and I was in this situation. It almost ended bad because we didn't have the same vision of what we wanted to do and how hard we wanted to work. This thread kind of weaves across a few things, but I'm just going to comment on the business side. I have this vision of you guys teaching yourselves how to code, while figuring out a viable idea. This could take years and thankfully the experience will be transferable, but the current project you are working on is probably going to be a dud. I say this because you are too focused on the product itself without knowing how it solves your customers' problems. I would forget about code for a while and figure out who your customers are. What problems do they have, and how can you solve them? Building without having any feedback from paying customers is a surefire way to burn tons of time, and time is money even if it is your sweat equity. It's taken me a long time to figure this out, but until you talk to your customers you really have no idea what they want or need and will miss the target probably 95% of the time. Once you can prove your concept, then you can look at ways to pre-sell, and maybe even use the amount of interest your idea has to find and entice investors to fund the development. It doesn't have to take years to do this, and it doesn't have to take 100% of your life either. Just make some bold moves, prove your concept, and get other people alongside your vision. Sent from ISGHI 337M using TaperTalk. Things are actually great between us. Been talking more and more. I was only concerned about a few things, but was being over-analytical. We're both on the same track, and have the same goals or vision. I'm definitely going to keep my gym membership and keep it working out, although I might not bulk too much because bulking is expensive, and I'm going to get back into a relationship again. Thanks for the input. Just because I didn't mention the project details doesn't mean we're not focused on audience. We're trying to help. We know exactly who our audience is, and are constantly learning what they'd like, to make our product better. We obviously aren't going to mention product details in this thread, because my concern was not the product itself, it's the application, and devoted time towards said application. Thanks anyway for the input though, mate. I think what they are saying is right. The partner doesn't seem as serious as you. I tried that twice and didn't work. Some people really want it, some people don't. As far as the gym, health is very important. My diet is really strict, which I changed to lead a more fulfilling life. For the relationship part, personally, when I am starting out I really can't do relationships. Tried it and it's always the same thing. I have no time for her, not enough calls or texts. I am really so driven by my goals that I hardly even think about it. Sure, I go out with friends every once in a while and bring home company. But overall I just can't do it when I am certain stages of my life. I know it will turn into a huge distraction for me and will end up setting me back more. But of course that is just me. Everyone is different, and when I do reach my set goal, things will drastically change. My idea is that I can pick up a girl walking down the street, but I can't go down the street and pick up the life and money want. Have you researched disc profile or read a room full of referrals? I think there might be a disconnect on personality and how one handles a situation. It reminds me of the 5 Love Languages book. People can love each other but also not feel loved because they don't understand each other's language. He might be trying 4HWW tricks, but he has a reason for it. It seems to me the communication is off and the focus doesn't seem shared on the vision. You each bring strengths that make things go. If he stops, something in the business will stop even if you can't see it right now. And vice versa. Sent from my HTC1_M8 using TaperTalk. Have you thought this? You do the code and he is training on other parts that also make the system work. He doesn't learn their way, you do. He might need to pay for that class. Eric works on a part of our business and is an expert at it, and I trust him on his side. He learns and approaches everything way different than I do, but he gets it done and does it well. Equally, I'm an expert in another area of the business that he knows nothing about. Sometimes he spends more hours, sometimes I spend more hours. Also, we both don't rely on just us for ideas. We use mentors and consultants to push us above, cause we are not experts in all parts of the business. It is good that he is doing e-commerce learning and maybe social media, because that will help drive this business just as much as the coding will. There is no point in having a great product if you can't get it out there. Sent from my HTC1_M8 using TaperTalk. If I were to outsource coding for a website I needed done by finding someone on a freelancing website, how would it be transferred to me? I have no knowledge in building websites at all. Like, is it sent in a file by email, or do I just type in the website and enter a code?